Hi, my name is Robin B.
I'm Kay.
And we're coming from the chatter. And we have a special guest today, Bree, and she's a young adult. And the reason why we invited her, she's one of our watchers and listeners. And the reason why we invited her is because we want to have a conversation of Android versus um,
iPhone.
iPhones, right? So what's your take on this, Bree?
So personally, I have an iPhone.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I think the biggest misconception of between like Androids and iPhones is like, oh, Androids are low quality, like they're bad. But I think it's really just depends on the Android. Like when you think about like Samsung, like their best phone or like their newest phone, they're like
Hmm.
the same, they're like on the same level as like the best iPhone at the moment. A lot of people argue that they're better, like the camera quality is better, they have like better specs. Personally, like another reason why iPhone is just more popular is because there's more to do like with other iPhone users. Like it's more exclusives, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
If you're texting a Android user, you can't FaceTime with them. You can't like play iMessage games with them. So yeah.
Yeah, but I can play games with my Samsung users, but I don't. I don't have time for it. But I noticed that a lot of Android users it was like, oh, what is it? WhatsApp? Do you have WhatsApp? Do you have this? Do you have
Yeah.
whatever that thing? I do have some of that on my phone, and I can face to face talk to people if I want to, and
Yeah.
also I could talk face to face with iPhone users. But the problem
It,
is I'll have to download the app and this, that, and the other. But I
hmm
Hmm.
don't have to pay for it. And I think that's one of my misconceptions that every time you have an iPhone and you download certain apps, you have to pay for it. Is that true?
Mm-mm.
No.
Like think FaceTime that all comes with the phone. It's like the same thing as like the Google Play Store. They have
Yeah.
apps. So most of the apps are the same. You don't have to really download a lot of extra apps.
Oh, okay. Because that was
Yeah.
one of my main misconceptions.
Mm-mm. Yeah, most of it's like the same thing, pretty much, like the same process.
So I'm sure all of your friends have iPhones because that's the new thing. Oh, you don't have an iPhone? You don't have an iPhone? What's wrong with you? You got to get up to date, get an iPhone. But see, you
Mm,
brought out a good point as far as some of the Samsung phones are better than the iPhones. So
mm-hmm.
that's something to look into too. Karen, what do you have?
I have a Samsung Galaxy 22, so it's a couple of years old, and my brother he had a Samsung Galaxy, but he just got an iPhone, and he said the iPhone can do so much more than the Galaxy, and he was recording stuff, and he said he was using the video from the Android, the Samsung, but the audio from the iPhone because the audio was that much. Mwah. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, he's doing both. I swore that I had an iPhone years ago, and I got upset because whatever you purchased, that's what you were stuck with, and
Yeah.
at the time, Android still had the little chip you could put in to get extra storage, but they did away with that. So I think iPhones are better now.
Well, I don't know. I'm still on the line with that one. But I mean, if you're gonna be recording and all of this other stuff, I guess you can go with it. But my camera's fine. But I'll use my camera for certain things. I mean, I'm not recording movies and whatnot, because a lot of people use the iPhone for that, and it's extensive as far as that's concerned. But what
Yeah.
about the storage? What about the gigabytes? Is that more? Does the iPhone come more with that?
Um, like I said, it depends. Because even with the iPhone, when you buy an iPhone, you have an option of like, oh, do I want 128 gigabytes? Do I
Right.
want 20? So that is like you would have to pay more depending on how much you want. But like also with Samsung, they also offer like pretty much around the same amount. I think they offer the same options. Like you would pay more for more storage. But
Right.
then
Yeah.
on the other hand, like cheaper Androids, they have like a standard, like it's getting more. Like I remember because I used to have Android too. And when
Until you got hip, huh? I can't use that word hip until you got smart.
but yeah, they started off like smaller, like 8 gigabytes, 16. I remember 32 was like, oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
I guess I don't know what they're at now,
think
like
mine
with like,
has 32.
but it's also because like everything is just getting bigger. Like I guess back in the day, like apps and stuff, they were just so much smaller, like in terms of like how much, I don't know, like
What they
techno.
could do and what's
Yeah,
and the
Yeah,
space they took
so
up. Yeah.
it's just it's like has no other room but to grow. But
right.
yeah, you don't really have to pay that much extra for extra storage. It just depends on what you're buying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think that I had the conception too that the iPhone is much more money, but
Mhm.
like you said, now with the Androids coming out and the Samsungs coming out with newer phones that are compatible or even better, the prices are pretty much comparable, would you say?
Yeah, I would say that. And then also another thing is like it's whatever fits a specific aesthetic. So personally, even though like you could get an Android that's just as good as like my iPhone, because my
Mm-hmm.
iPhone, so it's like a couple years old too. But it's like what you like the feel, the shape is completely different, like depending on the phone. So people who like Samsung, like they're, I don't know, to me they're like longer, they're bigger. It's just what you like.
Now, see, I thought the iPhones were bigger.
Like
Mm-mm.
you can get different sizes, but I think Samsung's like now, like the shape of the phone, they're like they're big. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, the newer ones, because mine is not that big.
Mine
Mm-hmm.
is. Mine is.
No, mine is not.
Y- Yeah.
I just got mine about a year ago. I need another one. So I don't know. You might convince me to go iPhone. I don't know. You're
Ah.
talking about, oh, you got WhatsApp and other apps that are on there that you could be compatible with iPhone, especially now that everybody's buying iPhones. But
Mm-hmm.
I still like my Samsung.
They also have, like an affordable option. Like they have I forgot what it's called. It's like the iPhone SE.
hmm
It's like it has like the build of like an older looking iPhone, not like super old, but it's not like the same like XR look or whatever the XR, the
Right.
X, the new look of the iPhones, but it's like more affordable. But like the specs are similar, so you're getting like a better quality. Like the inside of the phone is good quality, like but the outside looks outdated. But it's still like if you want a phone, like I think for you, if you want to upgrade from your that would be like
Is that for me? Because of why? No, just don't tell me.
just
Don't tell me. But for me, okay.
or
I,
for anybody who's like in the same situation, wants to upgrade, stuff like that.
okay.
Ah.
What should they get?
It's like the iPhone SE. I don't know if like they don't come out with one every year. It's like every couple of years they might come out with one. But
Doesn't
just like
Samsung have something like the SE?
I don't know.
I thought I saw something like that. I don't know. It might have been the iPhone, but anyway. Thank you for joining us and thank you for all the insight that we have. And we hope to see you again, maybe with another subject. We have to use you when we want the young people or, the young adults to come in. And congratulations on your first year of college, too. Exactly. So, yay, yay. Thank you so much for joining us. And please like, share, and subscribe from the chatter. And we love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Next time.
I